Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon.
Please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified when we post new videos.
Good evening, guys. Welcome back to Diko Graphics Design Training. I believe we're doing great. Today I want to show you how you can make a simple business flyer on your Android smartphone using your PixelLab as usual. It's your boy Diko Graphics. So today we are going to see some amazing tricks on how we can come up with a business flyer on our Android smartphone using our PixelLab. So without wasting much of our time, let's get started. The amazing things have been is this. Some people wondering how I got some of the resources I normally use. It's all about research anyway. And recently, my last video, before I'm making this, I share more than 50,000 resources pack. It's a mega pack anyway, which you can see a lot of resources I'm using. Actually, I use majority of these resources for my design, ranging from all this background and all that, but it's just that you need to do a little research. The application, or let me say the process of bringing all these images, bringing all these elements together to make up a design is what you require as a good graphic designer. So you need to brainstorming, and you need to do a lot of researches, and you need to do a kind of a work before you can come up with all these things. So looking at ways people making a business flyer, and based on my own experience so far, so I came up with this idea on how you can just come up with a business flyer basically on ice cream. So without wasting much of our time, let's get started. So the first thing to do is to import our background. I did something behind the screen on this particular background, and when you look at it, the color, I place a particular effort inside it, and when you look at it, it makes it look awesome. But at the middle is just a gradient. Then I make sure that I combine these two colors together, white and this other color. Then I make it using this particular effort on the gradient to make sure that the middle has to be with brighter white, so that it will come up with what I wanted to, the images I wanted to place at the middle. So now after that, the next thing I'm going to do is to import all elements so far first. Then after that, I will put on all the write-up. So this is an ice cream, as you can see. So having positioned this ice cream, the next thing I wanted to do is to just come up with a background. So I want to do something amazing now. So just go to the shape, then go to select this particular shape, and you have it draw out exactly like this. So the next thing we're going to do after that is to just we need to change the color to color black. So I'm going here, after changing it to color black, by reducing the opacity. So after reducing the opacity, I will go to stroke, to shadow. I will apply the shadow, but the opacity are not showing, but I have a way of making it show. So just increase like that, and you click OK. So return back to what you just did, and then you position this. Let's go to where we select our color. So we have this particular color, we switch it to 0. So we go to opacity here, and we reduce the opacity to 0, enable the offset. So this is actually cool. So the next thing we're going to do, let me off my data so that there won't be any disturbance. So now after that, the next thing we're going to do is to just go to the shadow back, and you click on this plus sign, and you reduce this. Just reduce, and you can see the shadow has been formed. So now the next thing I wanted to do is to just make sure that this shadow go behind this, and it's awesome. So we make it this way. So, and when you look at it, it forms a shadow, right? So this should be on top of it anyway. So now when you look at it, you can see there is a shadow form at the back of this
Don't
plate.
forget to hit the
So you can
subscribe
adjust
button
it
and the
by
bell
going
icon.
here. So we increase click on plus sign, and you increase it, so it will be able to show very well. and we won't let it big. So go back, then adjust. So very cool. So now after achieving this, the next thing we're going to do is to make sure we lock it so that our hand will not be touching it. Then we go back and select other elements. I've already made everything accurate so that we can fast in whatever we wanted to do. You can position your own any way you want, but you just make sure that you do it in such a way that you don't misuse the white space and you don't make things congested. So you make it captivating so that people will be able to know your intention and what you are trying to do. So once you make it too much congested, so it won't be able to showcase what you really want it to showcase. So after that, after importing all these, the next thing we're going to do is to just lock everything, as you can see. Then we can go in by putting our write-up. So now after that, the next thing I wanted to do now is to put in my write-up. So we have a special tasty. That's what we wanted to do. Special tasty. So you can see I have a font type which I wanted to use by giving an hierarchy to this special tasty. So I want to use a font called Alura. So we have a Alura regular. So if you have been following me on my channel, you should be able to know how to download any kind font for now. You understand? So you should be able to know how to do that. So the next thing I'm going to do after selecting this, I will try as much as possible to move it to one side using a rotation icon. So using a rotation icon, and you just position it this way, so it will be cool. Let's say -4 or -5 is okay actually. So now we'll position it at this edge. So the next thing I'm going to do so that I won't be able to repeat myself is to apply the shadow, reduce the radius. Just do it the way you want it, but don't apply it too much. So after that, click on plus sign and you reduce this. So after reducing it, the next thing to do, reduce it very well. The blur radius should be reduced and you make it to be 6. Reduce it well. So now when we look at it, everything is actually cool. We can still adjust. So let's still adjust it a little bit, and this should go in. Our radius should go in as well. So after that, selecting this, the next thing to do is to just put other write-up ice cream. So now click OK. Then we'll go in here to the font area. We look at the font which you can select. So I want to use a Control 1 regular. So Control 1 regular will be able to work for me. So, and you see the way I just select it, I make sure that everything is accurate. So very cool. But the Control 1 has a something. So the space in between the text need to be reduced -3. Then I'm going to increase the size if needed arise. So this is actually cool anyway. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to just adjust this particular shape. So which I'm looking for. I've seen it. So I want to move that towards this edge. Okay, very cool. So after that, the next thing I'm going to do is to increase this. So let this one back. So I'm going to increase this. And this shouldn't be here. So it is actually cool like this. Very, very cool. So the next thing I'm going to do after having this selected, I want to make sure that this is positioned here. So let it go up so that we'll have an amazing presentation. Okay, very good. So the next thing I'm going to do is to try at least to bold it. Very, very good. So I will bold it, then go to the padding and you enable the padding so that all the text will be able to show. So after that, we'll have to bring it down a little bit. So bring it down a little bit. So now it's cool like this when you see. Very, very cool. So the next thing I'm going to do after this is to put in have it lock vest. Then we go here and we put our write up only. So after putting that, we go into the text area. So I'm thinking of using source and pro. So the Source Pro I'm going to use that too when you look at it, because Source Pro is just a family name. Like for instance, if my surname is Oladeji, many of my brother and sister will be bearing an Oladeji. Are you getting it? So the same thing applicable to this font name is a family name. So for this Source Pro family. So once anybody who wants to download it, when you search it on Google, it will give you a lot of only one name. Then when you are trying to extract it, you discover that it's more than one anyway when you extract everything. So, and the beauty of that is to just when you want to use the bold one, you can see the bold one quite different from the lighter one. So for this case, I'm using the lighter and the bold one. So I'm going to select Source Pro, which is bold. You can see it's semi-bold. I will select that, or I use a Lixpata, which will be able to show the price because of the hierarchy. So after that, I will just put, let me change this one to dollar. So you need to follow what we call an hierarchy whenever you are making your design. And hierarchy is just a grammar. You might look at it. It's a grammar you need to follow. Talking about hierarchy, we are talking about giving an importance to a particular text that need to be respected, that need to be obvious. Are you getting it? Like this dollar, the money. Only I don't make it to be bold. Why? Because I say only, I don't want it to be bold. What I'm really focused is the price. That's why I made the only to be lighter. Then the price need to be what? Need to be bold clearly. That is what they call an hierarchy. So you give an hierarchy to those that deserve to be respected in term of the design. And when you respect them, people will be able to see clearly what message you are trying to communicate. And as you can see, we've make a lot of we've brought all these things so far. So I'm coming here, bring this one here again, that will serve as a kind of an indication to that particular area. People seeing it, they will know that the arrow is communicating something. So let me put in this particular image, and all the resources are well presented. So after that, the next thing is to go to the shape area, and you blur your increase your radius to something whatever you want until when it's able to carve. So after carving like this, you just stretch it normal, just an ideal way. Very good. So when you look at it, very good, you have it positioned around here. Remember, you have to don't let it be too big, because it will spoil the whole design. Those are the things that we did not understand. So once you make it too big, the design will be spoiled, because it will be very obvious than other write up and other design, and that one will spoil the whole thing, because it will look like you want it to be a synosure in all your design. And what do I mean by synosure is center of focus, that people will be looking at it first. Now what is this? Because it's too much obvious, which shouldn't be. You getting it? I'm thinking of the color which I'm going to use that will make this well okay. So I'm thinking of this, and I will dark it a little bit. Okay, very cool. So that it won't be too much obvious and it won't be too much dead. So after that, I will copy any of this or use the normal text while we have an order now. So you can see order now. So after that, the next thing I'm going to do is to reduce the size. I've come here. If I can bold it, I will bold it and manage it that way. Then I will have it reduced very well. So therefore, this will be used, and I will just position it very well. Hierarchy, alignment are so much applicable in whatever you are making. Even if you are trying to carve a text in the box, you should make sure that it align properly. Both the left and the right are justified. Otherwise, if it's go to one particular area, it won't look more professional. It won't look professional, and that's how people see the work. And at the end of the day, when you do a neat work, people will be able to see that at least what you are providing, what you are doing, are really okay. So we have a free delivery. So just put all the write up, how you make, and you make your research, learn from those that have the ideas, let them impart the knowledge in you. You see, the hierarchy need to be worked. So I want this particular text to be in line with this particular frame. Why? Because I want it to be uniform. You understand? I want it to be uniform. So I'm switching it towards this particular area. Okay, very good. So after that, as you can see, we are making sense and we are progressing. The next thing we are going to do is to put the number. So I want the number to be very robust, because what is the essence of making an advert? At the end of the day, what will be the conclusion? What will be the output? People will be looking at it that where is the contact that I'm going to contact? Where is the info? Where is the digit I'm going to contact? I'm going to call. So people will be looking at that. So therefore you need to put your contact. If possible, you have a Gmail, you have a website, you have you have other social media you have other social media contact where people can easily contacted you. You can just put it there for people to be able to reach you. So don't let everything too much. You need to be very, very observant, and you need to put all your mind in what you are doing whenever you are making a design. That is the essence. Once you make it, you see the ice cream. Let me give you the hint of all these things I'm just making. So you see the ice cream. Ice cream are so much amazing, and when you look at it, very, very bold. So put in your website .com.ng. So I will give you the overview of what I just make. It's not that maybe it's not about you make the design alone. It's all about how the explanation you can give him whatever you are making, and let it make sense and obtainable. Don't let your design be outdated. That is just the fact of it. So don't let it be outdated. When it's outdated, it has no meaning anymore. So now I want to still use using an alignment in this particular area by making sure that this thing is in line with each other. That's what I'm trying to do. So it must be in line. Why? I want it to be in line because I believe it will be okay like that. And when you look at it, we've actually come up with a very, very unique design. So let me just give you an hint. When you look at the special tasty, I don't make it more obvious. Are you getting it? I don't make it more obvious, and I don't make it big, but I give it an hierarchy. How did I give it an hierarchy? I make the text to be in slant way, so that people will look at it. That one will draw their attention to read what is there. And ice cream, that's the main thing of the whole design. That's why I make it too much big, and I give it a very, very amazing text that people will be able to see it and look at it that okay, this is awesome. And when you look at other element like the green, this and all that which I put there, I intentionally put it there because it's a kind of a decoration, and it has its own ways of communicating and draw the attention of the viewers or the clients. And you look at the main text, other text I put in, I make sure that everything are so much okay and they are in line with the size of other text. And the reason why some are bold and some are lighter is because of the hierarchy. You need to do, I don't care about the only. Are you getting it? I only care, people who I only care about the price. When you say only what? That's why that one is very obvious for people to say. And you look at the number, I give it a bold format so that people will be able to see it. So, and when you look at the white stuff at the background, that's what I was explaining when I first started. When you look at that white really give more attention, draw more attention, and then make the whole design more radiating, that people will be able to see that at least this thing is a watch checking, and the who once they check it, it's amazing. They will be able to turn in and checking what you are doing. So that is just a tips about this design. Once you have an idea of this alignment, balancing, design theories, you should be able, you don't have any problem. You understand everything I'm saying. So I'm thinking the shadow is too much, so I'm going to reduce it, and the blur radius I will reduce it, so at least everything will be cool like this. So thanks for watching. I believe we'll learn something from here. God bless you. So just to make sure you save your work with Ultra and with PNG format. Thanks once again.